Oh, Michael, how are you today? How's
Oh,
it going?
great,
So
Richie.
glad that you had the opportunity today to show up. I know yesterday was a little bit stressful for you, and so was for me. So, Michael, I brought you in the state of Florida. How's it going over there?
It's going pretty good in our neighborhood. In general, people are practicing the social distancing and all that. But we did have one of our snowbirds that passed away up in New Jersey from the virus, and of course, you saw on Facebook I lost an uncle yesterday, but he was in his high 80s and a lot of health issues. So. But it was the virus that did away with it.
Because we do have a lot of people out here. I mean, the state of New York is really working on this hard, so we have a lot of people. Michael, I wanted to first of all thank you, right, for at quarantine. Me and Michael Onhide together, we were at my home and we were working on the masks, and because of your help with all these, people from family office that you have and all this, we were able to come up with this, and we have right now 1 million masks available, right? And we want to help people. Our minimum order is 5,000 of them, right? That's our minimum order. 5,000 masks. You go to the landing page, and you can get this mask, and it's right on the content of this live. Uh, so Michael C. Lewis was a big part of it, and that's what we did. So we brought the family office industry in this and other investors. So that being said, Michael, tell us a little bit about the process, how you helped us engage with this and all that.
Well, I think the most important thing when you're dealing with high net worth individuals is relationships, Richie. And, they get hit with so many deals constantly. The deal flow to the ultra wealthy is just unbelievable, literally hundreds of them some days. So the way that they start to sort out is by relationships. They like to do business with people they know, like, and trust, just like the rest of us. I mean, that's what we all want. And obviously, smart money knew there was money to be made in these masks because you're fulfilling such a necessary service without price gouging, which is the other thing that I've seen a lot of. You're keeping the inventory as you promised at a fair price in the marketplace instead of trying to hold people up. But it's the relationship that brings the money in because with these masks, there was so much fraud and people that didn't, said they had masks but didn't have, had lower grade ones than they said. So good quality masks in the volume that you got them in, it was really hard to find anybody to invest in. And of course, the fact that they knew you because of everything you've been doing in the auto industry made it a lot easier for me to tell them about you and introduce you to them.
Right. Look Smart. I mean, like Michael Owenhide, like Look Smart was a big part of it. And then we brought that whole thing in. We brought him because he's an OEM out in China. So it's easier for him to be, he's in the last 25 years, he's been importing to the US, all kinds of equipment that he has. So, I mean, it made it so easier. And Michael's such a great human being. That's why Michael has, and we have two nonprofits because we're out to help as many people as we possibly can.
Yeah, I met Michael through your veterans nonprofit in Arizona. Great guy. And like you said, I was real comfortable with the fact that he had real experience and real contacts in China. I believe he might have said he even owns a couple factories there.
Yes, he does. He owns a couple of them. One is a steel factory, one is a cab factory. Those for the minivans, those cabs that we do. So
okay. Well, and I don't know how many listeners know it or not, but in China, you really got to be on the inside, if you will.
Oh yes, in China, definitely.
And the reason if you or I went over there and tried to do a deal right now, we would get abused.
Yeah, you would get abused. You need somebody in that place like Michael has. Michael actually lives more out there than anywhere in the world. He's always out there, and then whenever he's here, he's at this home. So he lives out there a lot. Michael Ohnheim. That's what his name, the name of his game is. And I wanted to talk to you because your help came with a lot of different ways. Your help came with this network of these authors you got, because how many books do you have out that you've done?
Well, I personally have done 24 books of my own.
Right.
That's not including the one that you and I are working on right now. That'll be coming out in just the next couple of weeks. But I've helped over 800 authors to become bestsellers. So
right, and that's the other thing, that all the authors saw this opportunity to help people. The whole idea why our pricing is not high or anything. We're basically right around $250 for 5,000 masks each one, which it's a tremendous price. We're not out there at $265, at $275. We really want to help the community. And the other thing that I definitely want to say about this is dealers. This is a perfect chance. New York dealers, you're in a great situation with this solution. Why is that? Because you could get a 5,000 mask and make a campaign, Mr. Customer, you're safe here. We have the masks. New York dealers, it's time for you to step up and push to get open. I know you listen to the state, to greater New York. Be proactive, I mean, in the state of Georgia, they wanted to shut everything down too. Be proactive. See what you're doing based on the guidelines. If you have the mask, you're done. You're okay. This whole thing can make you aware. Awareness is key. If you're aware of what's going on, it's going to stop the spread. Have your people wear masks, Mr. Dealer. Have all your employees with masks. Give masks free to customers. I mean, be in the community now. Help out, and stop, nickel and diming your dollars and cents. Dealer, it's time for you to give back now. For the last decade, these state of New York dealers have made crazy money. So it's time for you to step up now, Mr. Dealer, and get the mask and give it to your community. Why wouldn't you do that? I have no idea. You have an option now. Call me. There's the information. There's 2 phone numbers there. Reach out. The live operator standing by, waiting for your phone call. 5,000 masks. This is real. Let's go get the mask at a really good price. Share it with your community and help out your community. Also, the catering industry in New York. Step up. Buy the mask and give it out to your community.
Well, I think
the community.
So many people look at 5,000 masks and think that's a lot. But your people, especially the mechanics and that sort of thing, and customer service people, they're going to go through a lot of masks a day. But more than that, Richie, I think the big opportunity is giving them to the general public, not just the customers.
Right.
Go by the local nursing home and give them 100 masks. Let the TV and radio stations know that anybody stopping by can pick up, 5 masks or whatever the number is. But I think they could get, 10 or 20 times the value in media of what the mask will cost them. Well, they're doing good for the community. I mean, how often do you get to do good for the community and have it really help your business? And I'll tell you, people are going to remember the businesses that stepped up and helped the community for a long time after we're all back to work.
Right. And you know what? To those businesses out there, I mean, remember something. It's time to support the people that do the fundraising for you. Small businesses, when you have a situation, people do something for you, right? Well, guess what? When you reach out, now it's time for you to do something to your community because they need masks. I mean, there's nothing out there, I mean, the local store here, 7-Eleven, told me the other day, the masks are coming. The masks are coming. Then nothing's coming. Every day it's coming. Yeah, so was Santa Claus. He's coming too, by the way. You know what I mean? Let's
Well,
not wait for him. We have them, you know. So
before your shipment came in, I went to probably a dozen places on Amazon trying to buy them. All of them had great prices, but they were all out. Nobody had any inventory. A couple of them didn't want to deliver until mid-June. Who needs masks in mid-June? We need them now. And that's the big thing is you guys have the masks, have them in the country, and can deliver immediately.
correct.
That, to me, is way more important than the price. Although your price you kept real competitive, so that's great too. And I understand you've already furnished some to several hospitals and
Yes.
that sort of thing. So,
Yeah.
and I want people to know there's a huge difference between just the paper mask and the masks that you have that are N95 standard, I think it's called.
Yeah.
That's what hospitals need. And that if you're going to put a mask on, you ought to put a mask on that works. And I can just see a dealer, showing up at a nursing home or showing up at a food bank and giving away a few hundred masks here and there. Right now, local news is just begging for some good, positive news that they can put on. They've got all the doom and gloom they need, but to see somebody going around helping people, I think that they'll get great coverage out of this. And we all know that, 3 minutes on a news report is worth probably 30 minutes of commercials.
Right.
You look at it that way, the cost is pretty darn cheap to be out there doing something good.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing too, Mike, I want to talk to you about. The other thing I want to talk to you about is this whole thing with masks. And let me tell you, this whole thing with coronavirus. Okay. So anyway, this whole thing with coronavirus, there's a lot of business out there, especially the real estate business. I mean, and there's a lot of people that are in real estate business. They have funds. They're all going out. They're all like done. Okay. Let me tell you something. There's no more investment as far as that. The hedge fund of blockchain, which you know about, right? We put that hedge fund together, Michael Owenhigh and his team and ourselves, right? So listen, guys, it's growing at tremendous rapid speed. Email me, right? Everybody knows my email. Let me put it so I can send you the analytics of what's going on with this hedge fund, okay? This hedge fund is blowing up. It's actually bigger. Any real estate you can imagine, stop investing and stop listening to passive income guys, okay? Because the only passive income you're helping is them. That's who you're doing it. And then when the market goes down, you know what they tell you, right? Oh, market conditions are bad. Listen, they're using it as a hedge fund, okay? Time to wake up with all these guys out there with real estate. I'm getting tired of listening to it, okay? It's not working, guys. Not working. Blockchain is going to get bigger than the internet because it's data on crypto coin. We have the hedge fund with real people, all right, guys that are in NASDAQ, guys that are stock, huge names. Go look at that site. After this live is over, I'm going to post it. Stop the nonsense. Stop listening to these guys that promise you with, buying real estate, $30 million and all this stuff. They can't do anything. They give you a check that makes you no money. No money. Give you a check, no money. They're not tied in with family office. They're not tied in with anything. It's just a great idea, but there's no money coming in with this idea. Stop the nonsense, okay? Look at your investor and look at your guide. See, find out if it's true. Get involved with blockchain, okay? Forget about this nonsense with this passive income. It's all bullshit. They're all dreamers. That's what it is. They're all dreamers. Anybody can run up a big debt and then hope to get out of it. That's not what this team does, okay? This is what we do. We got a tremendous hedge fund out there. Blockchain, it's the only one of its kind, and it's blown up to 74%. Okay? Guys, get involved in this. The minimum, is 100 grand to invest, but to the automotive space, because we know that all you guys are getting involved with real estate for the last 3 or 4 years. Great. Well, throw some funds over here and we're going to give you such a great deal. Give us a call right away or email me directly at this email. It's just email I've always had, but I don't use it. So I have it set up just for this.
Well, and I liked when I looked at it for my portfolio, I like the fact that the hedge fund doesn't have any debt whatsoever. All of the machinery they're investing in, the farming, and I guess they call it mining equipment. I guess I'm not real familiar with the terms, but everything is all cash. The fund doesn't have any debt, whereas, man, these real estate funds have 80-90% leverage. It doesn't take much of a downturn to eat that equity up, as we've seen before in 2008. What I like, and where I see your hedge fund going, is you guys are getting in more and more to the blockchain technology. I mean, the cryptocurrency stuff is fun to watch because, it goes up and down. There's lots of movement, fortunes made, fortunes lost. So that's what all the news is covering. But the underlying management of big data is really where blockchain excels. And that's what's going to blow things up, is the fact that you're going to be there handling all that big data, because data is everything. The most valuable thing that Amazon has, and the reason that Bezos is the richest man in the world, is he's got millions of credit card numbers and he knows millions of people's buying patterns. That data is where all of Amazon's value is. I mean, their warehouses, their computers, all that other stuff is insignificant compared to the value of the data. So I'm excited about what blockchain is going to do. Even people my age, people that are looking at retirement in 5 or 10 years, I may not understand the technology, but I understand that this is a revolutionary technology. And so I'm investing in that fund because I know, like, and trust the principles of it. And if you don't know the people in a VC fund, the old adage back when I did invest in the stock market was it was the only industry that the workers drove to work in limousines and the owners drove there on the subway. So the investors are saving, driving 4-year-old cars or whatever, whereas the guys that are supposed to be working for them are in chauffeured limousines. And that's it's not a good deal for the little guy. Whereas with the right management, VCs can just be awesome.
Right, and the biggest thing, with this blockchain is you guys can invest. When you guys see it, just get the information because it's public. So the information is out there. In a public company, you're not dealing with one company that is giving you a story all the time. The storytellers, there's not. You guys listen to storytellers.
My writers help write a lot of those stories. So.
Correct. The storytellers, this passive income real estate. I mean, I don't even know what they call them. What do you call that? These real estate guys that get your money.
They're called syndicators, and it's limited partnerships or Reg D.
Right. I mean, I've never been involved in this. I'm more involved with hedge funds and stuff like that. That's what. And then they say these syndicators that there's no money. The reason they don't want you to go to public company has to disclose everything online. These guys don't have to disclose. They're private. They don't have to share anything. They can do whatever they want. Stop listening to these guys already. I'm getting tired of all the nonsense that's going on. It's on paper. They think they're worth something. They're broke, these guys. They owe about $500 million. That's what they owe. Go somewhere where somebody doesn't owe that kind of money and can really do something for you. I'm tired of all this bullshit that's going on social media. And every live thing and all that, they're taking people's money on passive income. They're hurting our local economy and our entrepreneurs, because the guys that are investing are the entrepreneurs. Stop doing that to these things. They have these events. All this bullshit that's going on. It's really ridiculous already. It's time to just call it a stop already and invest in something that's worth your while. Okay, something you get to know. Hedge fund is the way to do it. You get tremendous residual event and all that. There's a reason why Warren Buffett is a billionaire. Okay, and that's why, because his whole life he's been investing in the right investment. Not with somebody that actually tells you a story. Okay, a storyboard. It's not good. So just pay attention to that. And Michael, look, let me just tell you this: what are you doing with any new projects or any new books?
We've been doing a lot in the financial space, but I'm doing more and more with coaches and trainers, particularly ones that are very successful, but they've got a lag in their business right now because of social distancing. So they're using that opportunity to really crank out some great information, because they want to be positioned when things start to roll back to really take advantage of what they accomplished right now. And so we've been busy.
That's great.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of very successful people that have the foresight, that know that if you've been a speaker and a trainer for 30 years, chances are you're going to be a speaker and trainer for the rest of your life. So they're building their product, starting with the book, and then once we make the book a bestseller, we help them with home study courses and some of the great video stuff that you're doing for us. It's time to really be sharpening your saw.
Right. Which is good, I'm so glad, because the time has come for this whole process to really work. And Michael, I got to tell you something. You've been a lot of help to me in a lot of years. You've been so helpful to me, and with your network, and you're a great partner of mine. The stuff you do for me is crazy. With these books and this, that you're developing. Now, tell me a little bit about that book that's being published in the next week or 2 weeks.
This book is a really unusual book for the automotive industry, because it's written for the career car guy. The book is about how to build your reputation, because no matter what the numbers are that all these people are searching for, to find the prices and that, those are going to be the same no matter what dealership it is. What's different is who it is they're doing business with. So anybody that thinks that these leads aren't Googling them before they come in for an appointment to see what kind of guy they are, or whether they're dealing with a newbie or an experienced guy that'll take care of them, all of this stuff is stuff that salespeople and GMs have really kind of I don't know a pleasant way to say it. They've just been missing the boat. It's right now I couldn't tell you who the top 2 or 3 sales guys are in my town to save my life. And growing up, I can tell you in Detroit, you knew Joe Girard was selling the crap out of
Yeah, right. That's correct.
But so many of those sales came because of his reputation, and you and I saw that when we really dug into what because you're such an expert in the industry. It was kind of hard to focus on where the book could do the most good. And I can tell you, the people that follow our advice, yours and mine, in this book,
right,
going to be the players. They're going to be the rainmakers at the dealerships year in and year out, because every year they're building a bigger and bigger reputation. You want a reputation where when there's a change in the automobile industry, the telephone or the television producers are calling you up, wanting to know your opinion of what's going on and that sort of thing. That's priceless, to have that type of relationship with media. These I know a lot of the guys that we've done this for, get asked to speak regularly at local events like Optimus, Kiwanis, and all of those type of things. And that adds up. I mean, because you're selling to 40 or 50 people at a time. Not to mention, I mean, what better way to ensure that an appointment shows up than to have your appointment setter say, well, you be sure when you come in to see Richie that you get an autographed copy of his book.
Right.
They're not, you're actually giving them something. You're showing them that you're an educator rather than just another sales guy. So you become an advocate like you became for auto dealerships. Well, you and I are going to make the average salesman have that type of image and reputation with his customers. Because it's not price anymore. It's who you're doing business with and what they'll do for you.
Correct. Well, Mike, you know what? It's been great speaking to you, and we'll talk really, really soon. And everybody that was watching us, this is about the mask. This is about a minimum of order of 5,000. This is a really, really feasible thing we brought, and give it out to your community. Buy them. Go to Amazon. Do whatever you want with the masks. Bottom line is, we have 1 million masks available to us. It's time for people to buy them. It's time to get them out there. We're lucky that we have these hospitals out in on the West Coast that have bought these masks from us already.
Well, and Richie, I'm sure you would love to be bringing dealers on remotely as guests, covering their giveaways, who they're giving away to, and what's going on at the dealership and that sort of thing. I mean, doing Facebook Lives, even though we have to stay separated. I mean, I'm in Boca Raton, Florida, and you're somewhere way north of the Mason-Dixon line where I don't like to go.
Soon I'll be there.
It's about 90 degrees here right now with a beautiful breeze, and I had to actually stop fishing so I could come in for this interview. So it's a great life. But we'd really be excited to see a lot of Facebook Live, a lot of publicity on these giveaways. I think that more than anything can really blow people's investment in these up. And anything you do like this is an investment in the reputation of your business.
Correct. And automotive dealers, start getting these masks and start giving them out. I mean, to your employees. I mean, every automotive dealers have a minimum of 100 employees. Okay. I mean, and you get 12 to 1,400 customers a month, right? That are trying to buy a car from you, plus your service department. Give out to those customers so people feel comfortable. People are scared right now. So worth 5,000 to an automotive dealer. It's time for you to step up. And safety is important. Every time somebody comes in for a car, you tell your salespeople to use the keyword safety for them, right? Well, this is really the truth, Mr. Dealer. Get safety. Okay, safety is key, like you guys been saying for years. Use that to help your community out. And that's what I got to say. These dealers that, they say safety, okay, great. Now safety is really an issue. So now go do it.
Well, it really shows that they care, and that's important. You can't quantify people feeling that you actually care about them. They're not just a sale walking through the door.
Right, correct.
They're going to be a long-term customer of yours.
Right.
And I think that's extremely important that you're doing this.
Right, correct. Well, again, Michael, it's great talking to you. And, we talk about 5 to 8 times a day anyway. I'll speak to you later. Have a good day. And
thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, Michael. Take care. Bye-bye.